What is going on, guys? Sonic and the Bean Show here. Today we're looking at the brand new Nendoroid Tails figure by Good Smile Company. So now we officially have Tails coming into this line. They first did Sonic a while ago, and then recently he got a re-release, and then at some point Knuckles will also be making his debut pretty soon this year. However, we are going to be focusing on Tails in this video, so let's take a look at the packaging. So we do get a huge open window right here of the figure and then the accessories that it come with. But up here we do have the Sonic the Hedgehog and Good Smile Company logo, and then a shot of the figure and then the product number here to the side. Here is the top of the packaging, and then here is the bottom right there, and then here's this side, and then here is the other side right here. And then here is the back, where we just get some more photos right there. And that is pretty much the packaging right there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack this out of the box and take a closer look. Okay, so here's the figure out of the packaging right here. Now before I get into the figure, I do want to show off the backdrop that was in the box right here. So you do kind of get like this background piece, of course, that shows the tornado. This is just if you want to use that as like a display piece, as you can see. So yeah, that was in the box, so you can take that out if you want to display your Tails Nendoroid with that. But on to the figure. So I will admit, you know, Tails does look adorable, as you can see, and the paint on this guy is actually really good. Now the only thing is though, I do think he looks kind of odd. I feel like it's the proportions on this guy, and I think it's just because I feel like he's a little elongated. Like I think the torso and the arms look too long, and then like the head sculpt looks a little like stretched out in a way. I know the heads, they're usually like big, but I feel like the head is a little stretched out and along with the torso. So let me just compare it really fast to the Sonic Nendoroid right here. And these figures are kind of weird because their foots aren't completely flat on the ground, so they're kind of like wobbling. But you can see that like it does make it look like Tails is taller than Sonic, and then you can even see the difference with like their torsos and, you know, how their head size is, and the arms as well. But yeah, I don't know, it's really throwing me off. I'll even try to see. Let me take this arm off, and then I'll take Sonic's arm off, see how that looks. Because if like, say if this was like Sonic's arm, you see like how long it looks on the body, like if this was actually his arm. And I know Sonic's arm is like a little bent, but then if I put this like on Tails, like we'll just pretend like this is Tails' arm, and as you can see, like that, this actually doesn't really look too bad, you know. Like I think if this was Tails' arm right here, I don't think this would actually look too bad compared to how this arm is. But I mean, again, like I said, the Tails figure does look adorable, and it has a really nice paint job and a nice sculpt. But I'm just not really feeling the long torso and arms, and then the head sculpt right there. And then here it is with just a regular 4-inch Jax Tails figure. So he's like a giant, which is kind of funny. So yeah, pretty much that's your little comparison right there. Now onto the Tails figure. Like I said, the paint job is really nice. As you can see, the red here on the shoes looks nice, and there is details here at the bottom of the shoes. What's really cool is that these right here, you know, around the shin and then the wrist right here, these are actually a separate piece. You can't really remove them. They are actually like on the hand, but well, not really on the hand, but they're like still like connected to it. So I just took the arm out, but they are like connected though. You can't really like remove them. But I do want to point out that these are like a separate piece though, which is nice. If I can try to move that around, as you can see, I can kind of move it a bit. So yeah, I wanted to point that out. And then, you know, the head sculpt doesn't really look too bad here either. I think it's okay. The paint for the mouth is pretty clean, along with like the nose. Now the tails right here, you can see that there is, you know, of course, the hole right there for the tails, but then there's another one right there that's just for the support arm. But I just want to let you know that the tails is removable, and I usually would show this for the accessories portion, but I want to show it off now because, you know, you do have these spinning tails that you can also place, but due to these tails being back heavy and then not having the feet fully placed on the ground is going to be still a bit of an issue, honestly, which I'm not a fan of. And the mouth pops off way too easily too. So yeah, just keep that in mind right there. So let me show this off too. But there is a hole right here, and that's actually for the support arm, because that way it makes sense. So then that way, like when you position tails like in the air, you can use the arm for that hole right there, rather than it's just trying to go through there. Okay, now let's go over the articulation. So the head is just on that standard ball hinge that you get. As you can see, you can get that much range for tails to look up. So this is probably good if you want to put tails in like any flight poses. But to look down, it looks like you're only just going to get this much right there. Not really, or there you go. Yeah, I wasn't really pushing it down all the way, but you get that much for tails to look down. And then of course you have your regular rotation there, along with the shoulders, since they're just on a straight peg, but you get your rotation there. And then the wrist, of course, you have your rotation going on there, but they're also on a vertical hinge, as you can see, and that's only because you do have that ball hinge there, but I believe you can also just rotate that for a horizontal hinge right there. Now for the hips, you have the same ball hinge right there. Tails can kick forward just about here, and then we'll move into tails. Tails can kick back just about there, and then the ankles are also on a ball hinge too. Oh, and I almost forgot, actually, there's also the rotation right there. I did not mean to pop the arm off right there. But for the tails, you can of course rotate them, and what's cool is, well, you can pop it off, but you can also pop these off too, because these are also a separate piece, and you can rotate these wherever you want, which is cool. Alright, now let's get into the accessories. So you do have an interchangeable mouth. This is just the mouth being closed this time, but he is still like smiling. And you have interchangeable eyes this time. So this one is like just looking off to the side really, and then the other one is just where it's closed. So you have that option. And then for the hands, you have two fisted hands, and there is another one where you can grip on the wrench really that he comes with. So you use that to grip onto that. And then you have the goggles, which is actually nice. And the goggles, they're just one solid piece. I would be really careful with that. It's not really like a soft plastic or anything. It's a pretty hard plastic. So I would definitely be careful. I feel like that can like snap really easily. And then you get the blue Chaos Emerald, which is actually really, really nice. I really do like their Chaos Emerald accessories. This blue Chaos Emerald looks really, really good. And then, like I showed off, you do have the the spinning tails right there. And the last accessories are of course your display base with the support arm, and then the other sort of stand is, I guess you could probably use that for a Chaos Emerald if you want to display it on there, like on that peg. And then that the other last peg is just the extra ball hinge for the neck. And yeah, that is pretty much the accessories. Also, I think I forgot to show this off, but for the hips, you can kick it forward and still rotate the leg if you want. I think I completely forgot to show that off right there. Alright, so that is going to wrap up this review on the Nendoroid Tails figure by Good Smile Company. So while it does have a good spread of accessories and a really great paint job all around, I just can't get past the really long torso and arms. It really throws the look off. He's also a bit of a hassle trying to handle compared to Sonic as well. A lot of his limbs tend to pop off super easily for me when it comes to posing. However, they did a really good job on the sculpt of his tails. I think that actually looks amazing. I like how you can actually rotate each tail in any direction. That's something I wish more toy companies would do with their Tails figure. Or maybe one day if we ever get another like high-end Tails figure, I'd like to see someone pull off a bendy wire on his tails for better posing. Overall, the figure isn't too bad. I still like the Sonic Nendoroid a lot more, but if you can look past the flaws that this figure has, then you might also enjoy it. But let me know, what are your thoughts on this in the comments down below. If you want to pick this up, it is available in a lot of other online retailers, but I had mine pre-ordered straight from HobbyLink Japan. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review, but until then, Happy New Year's and take care, my friends.